What's going on, people? It's your boy Clive Belvin. On today's episode of The Weigh-In, we're going to be talking about Joseph Parker against Dillian Whyte and a recap of Tyson Fury's return. With me today, boys, give us a shout out.
Steve in the house.
Got Ray in the building.
So yeah, it's the big one. 02, July 28th, Dillian Whyte against Joseph Parker. Steve, talk to me.
Unbelievable in a time when fights just seem to never get made. This fight just came out of nowhere and they got made within 3 days, I believe.
Eddie Hearn pulls it again, mate.
Pull that back, and it's testament to Joseph Parker. He's willing to fight anyone. He's come over here. He fought Fury, awkward fight, away soil, defended his title. Came over to fight Andy Joshua. Even on his come up, he fought Andy Ruiz, Carlos Takam. He really is like a road warrior, but he's been a champion as well. So he's a bit of a legend. Dillian Whyte looked fantastic in his last fight.
Yeah.
The way he dispatched Lucas Brown. Okay, I know Lucas Brown was out of shape and he was a shell of his former self, but looking at Dillian Whyte, he looked stronger, he looked faster, he looked powerful, he looked dangerous. Okay?
Well, he's definitely come a long way since the Joshua fight.
For sure.
And it's nice to see Dillian Whyte finally get, his rewards.
He's been doing some. He's been going up to Loughborough and doing this kind of scientific training. It seems to be paying dividends now. Okay, he's obviously taken a leaf out of Joshua's book and bringing more science into his camp.
Yeah.
Okay, because last time you just kind of down the gym, bit of skipping,
Rocky
that kind of Rocky style, some ropey gym in South London. Now he's kind of he's monitoring things. He's taking it far more seriously, and that was the best I've ever seen him look. And I think he is now he's now a contender now.
100%, Ray.
I think, it's a good showcase of solid heavyweight boxers. And then obviously you've got Chisora and Takam on the undercard as well. And I think there's a testament to each of those gentlemen having a good showing in their previous fights. So whether it's Whyte or Parker, I think it's just like striking while the iron's hot. And I think it's very good to see that Parker still got... I think Parker gained a lot of respect in that fight against Joshua. He showed everyone that he's not a pushover. And I think it's a brilliant time to make this fight because with Parker still in everyone's minds, people are going to recognise him. It's not going to be seen as, Dillian Whyte. Well, to the public anyway, it's not going to be like Dillian Whyte's going to be given a give me fight.
Yeah.
Now it's just like everyone knows that Parker's a serious guy. Dillian Whyte's a serious guy. These are two top contenders. And then I think they're just building for the future. I think with Whyte, it's been a bit of a surprise because I think when he first burst onto the scene to the wider public audience, everyone just thought he's the guy that trash talked Joshua, and then after he got knocked out, that's it. He's going to be done.
Stole me trousers.
He had bars. He had bars for days. What a way to come, mate. But I think I respect him more because he's shown people he's got staying power, and I believe that's been very underrated and hasn't been mentioned too much in the media of how he's truly evolved as not only as a boxer, like Stephen was saying, but as a person as well. I think the nation's grown to love him.
Yeah, sure. He's a national treasure for me. Him and just saw her up there.
They're absolute legends. Like building from what Ray said, to come up on the small hall shows in boxing, it's got to be one of the toughest gigs going. You've got no promoter. He was just sort of bouncing around small hall shows. And then just finally worked his way up to about 15-0 before he finally got that Joshua fight. He would have made no money in that time, and he just stuck with it, like you're saying. And now to go from there all the way up to sort of outside of Wilder, Fury, and Joshua, he makes a case for being the top of the sort of ones outside of that.
Yeah.
So credit.
I definitely see this as a pay-per-view fight. And,
it's interesting. Eddie Hearn's getting a lot of stick about is this a pay-per-view fight?
100%.
I don't understand why. This is a great fight.
But Joshua against Molina, that was pay-per-view. And for me, the standout fight was David Haye against Dillian Whyte.
Yeah, 100%.
He's put in a lot of work in over the years since signing for Matchroom. I think he stopped just shooting off the roof.
Whyte Lucas Brown as well was the highest watched Saturday fight night, so fight that wasn't on pay-per-view and just on Sky Sports. It's the highest watched fight of those.
He puts on a show,
which is he's a good talker, he's a good fighter. I don't understand. What you've got to rate is these two aggressively going after another shot at a Joshua or a Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, because they could have fought your Dominic Brazils, your Bryant Jennings, Baby Miller, waited around. They're all in top 5 in every governing body. Okay, They could have just waited. Next year, you get Joshua's looking for an opponent, you get that payday. They're like, nah, if I beat Dillian Whyte, or Dillian Whyte's thinking, if I beat Joseph Parker, that doubles my money that I'm going to get when I finally fight Joshua. Because Dillian Whyte beats Parker, now you're thinking, he could beat Anthony Joshua. Without a win over someone as credible as Parker, it's a good fight.
100%.
But you're not thinking, you are probably thinking, Joshua will deal with him. But, you know, if either of these guys can get that win, it makes the fight so much more sellable. They're going to get so much more money. And props to them for gambling, because it's a 50-50 fight.
So, winner of this fight. So, should they fight Joshua? Wilder?
The build up to Anthony Joshua, Dillian Whyte would just be phenomenal. It's literally like, that's a show in itself. Those press conferences could be pay-per-view. I think as a fight though, Dillian Whyte and Deontay Wilder, I think that'd be fantastic. It's such an interesting fight, isn't it? It's like they're both really kind of they both have like unique styles of boxing. They both kind of like look to land their big shots in kind of awkward ways. Whereas Joshua is very sort of correct boxer. And I can just see him kind of keeping Dillian Whyte on the end of jabs and long shots. Whereas Wilder, I don't think has those skills. They just end up having a fight. They would end up having a massive
He's going in for a brawl.
It would be electric. I think that would be such a good fight. So maybe if Joshua beat Wilder.
See, I like to see Whyte's fight Wilder first. Can you imagine a massive UK showdown with every single belt on the line?
I think that could possibly happen. I think, depending on how the ongoing politics of the Joshua Wilder fight goes, I think
looking positive.
It's looking positive now, but then if there is another delay, then you never know. They might just be like, you know what, Whyte's gonna fight Wilder, and then Joshua's gonna have to do his mandatory with one of his other belts.
Because that would add so much credence. If Wilder beat Whyte, suddenly he's like, it lets people know where he's at.
Yeah.
If Whyte beats Wilder, if he was the WBC champion, he came to fight Joshua from that stance.
Wembley Stadium.
Yeah. And that's just the press conferences.
I think what's in Wilder's favour though in terms of negotiations is that WBC belt.
Yeah.
Because that's the belt that's worldly recognised by everyone.
Yeah, it's true. That green belt.
Exactly. That green strap is like the one that everyone sees and it's like, that's the real championship.
That WBO one's looking a bit serial boxy, isn't it?
So I think it should be a good fight. It sets them both up as well. I think if they both have another good showing, even if they lose, they can still win. So I think that's the best situation for both of them. Just go out there, put it all on the line, secure that big win and get a finish, and then goes up from there, and then you get put into the sweepstakes of the Tyson Furies, the Wilders, the Joshuas.
So what's your initial thoughts on the fight? So maybe not predictions, but breakdowns, if you want to give a prediction now.
It's a tough one. I really can't call it.
But in terms of, what do you think happens in the fight?
Both of them, fantastic movement. I'm edging towards Parker on this one.
Yeah.
It's really hard to call.
How do you think Parker wins? What's his outs?
Parker's kind of always pulled it out of the bag for me in his previous fights. He's faced some awkward opponents in the past, Fury, Andy Ruiz. And he's done well. His head movement, fantastic. Footwork's brilliant. He's good in the jab.
Also, so like I say, he's very, very relaxed. Yeah. He's got great movement. He's a very sort of fluid fighter. Okay, so he rides power very well. Joshua never troubled him with power. Joshua can punch, and Joshua never managed to nail him down. So for a small guy, he's very, very languid and sort of like fluid.
Very awkward.
And then also his big game, his big thing is that he's so fit down the stretch. Usually, he didn't show it against Joshua, but he takes over fights. If he's still in the fight after 6 rounds, he becomes a strong favourite to win those fights because he's so good over 12 rounds. Okay, so if he can keep it competitive for 6 rounds, and then and Dillian Whyte has shown stamina issues in the past, so I think over 6 rounds it will be a really good fight. Dillian Whyte coming out explosive, trying to take the centre of the ring. Okay, and then it will look like Parker is moving around on the back foot. Yeah. But expect Parker to start building into the fight after 6 rounds.
I can't see a knockout. I can see this definitely going the distance.
He always got too much heart to get knocked out. I just see, if fight someone like that,
he's gonna go down trying. I think if Whyte does get, I think Whyte is gonna go in there for the finish though. So it's gonna be interesting because whether he adjusts his tactics and goes in, with that patient, just trying to wait for that knockout blow, or is he just gonna go out all guns blazing and just say, hey, take his head off or, you know, live by the sword, die by the sword type of style. So it'll be interesting.
Because he probably is going to be thinking about, so there's the boxing match element, and obviously getting the W is the most important thing.
Yeah.
But if you go one better than Anthony Joshua by knocking out Parker,
people will be talking.
Now you've you've added on a couple of, like, you know,
you can really big up your chest.
You've probably added another zero onto your paycheck when you eventually
100%.
fight Anthony Joshua. Imagine if he gets that stoppage, you can say, like, I've improved so much. Yeah, you got 12 rounds. I stopped this guy.
Eddie Hearn's loving it.
Eddie Hearn is
He's
absolutely loving it.
Matchroom is winning.
It's ridiculous.
Another thing, the undercard is one of the best I've seen in years. You got Conor Benn, you got Katie Taylor, you got Kell Brook. So he's fighting 30-year-old Canadian boxer Brandon Cook. So it's a world title eliminator. To be honest, I don't know too much about Brandon Cook.
Yeah, I literally don't know anything. But I think he's going to build up. He's going to fight. He seems to be going the traditional route of just working his way up the rankings. Because although Kell Brook's got a name and he could get one of those 154 fighters over to come and fight. You know, you want to give yourself the best opportunity. You want to sort of really pick your spot. Cause there's good fighters in that division, and it's difficult for Kell Brook. You know, and I think just go after him. Yeah, can't fight.
Well, what title lineage is it? WBC, WBO? Does anybody know what title eliminator this is for?
A good point. I'm assuming I'd say IBF just because Eddie Hearn loves an IBF title.
Yeah. That's the one he sold previously as well, isn't it? IBF.
Yeah.
Other way if I was him, I'll stay away from the Charlos.
Yeah, you got the Charlos, you got Andrade, you got, like, there's just
got Hurd.
Martirosyan or whatever it is.
It's a stat division.
I think what this fight can do is also build a Khan fight. Because obviously we thought that after the Khan's last fight, he's going to be like, cool, like Kell Brook, let's get this big British showdown on the way. And I think that's a missed opportunity on both sides.
I think it's still a bit early for that. I think both of them to get one more win.
I think you still need to, like, put out, you know, like, throw out subliminal here or there. He should have just said, and if any other British welterweight.
It's very true. Like, I see what you mean. And like, you can't. What did these last fight go? What, 1 round, 2 rounds?
Get for Greco, who threw nothing.
No, I'm talking about Kell Brook
again.
So both of them have done minimal rounds in a long time. So they need to, you know, find their feet, get match fit again. But they should be just talking to each other on Twitter. They should be talking loads of rubbish. After every fight, they should be calling each other bums. I want to see, you know, start selling this fight.
You got to start throwing out subs like, there's no other British welterweight out there. Yeah. No one can touch me. Just throw out little...
keep it classy, exactly. Yeah. Keep it classy, but...
do you think Amir Khan wants it?
I'll say throughout the debate. I don't know.
Amir Khan seems to be just selling his name at the minute, to be honest. Yeah. I think he just will do anything for money. So
it says he wants another title shot on 147.
I guess if they could get a title on the line for it, but that division is
Crawford. You got
there's no easy fight.
It's like they're talking about you know, like Josh Kelly at the minute.
Yeah,
and he's a welterweight. He's a prospect coming up. He's 7-0 fighting for the Commonwealth title tonight, and he's one of Eddie Hearn's sort of ones for the future. They're really putting a big thing behind him, and I think they're setting up the Frankie Gavin fight coming up soon. And Frankie Gavin was like, where does he win a world title in the future? Who's he going to beat?
Yeah,
Errol Spence, no. Furman, no. Crawford, no. He's like
throwing Garcia into
for Garcia or Porter. And Amir Khan, like, you know, Amir Khan's in the same boat. How do you win a title in that division? You know, there's no. You know, there's good fights to be had, but, you know...
Wait, has Khan got a victory over one of those big welterweight names?
No, Brook beat Porter.
That's the one, sorry, it was Brook that beat Porter, for the title. That was for the IBF.
Yeah. Porter he'd be wrong for Khan. That aggression would be too much for him.
So that's where it gets awkward, because I think with a lot of the times, with so many belts, sometimes they're stronger champions than others, but with welterweight so talent rich, it's just like every single belt is like... the holder is a significant person. It's not like you can look at WBO or WBA or WBC and be like, oh yeah, that guy's beatable. Let me take that one.
There's literally there's no names you make. Broner, you throw Broner into the mix. Khan Broner,
he's a celebrity.
I think that's the funny thing is that could draw. Obviously, love him or hate him, Broner brings attention.
I'll be over that.
Yeah, come on,
it'll be a fun fight. The build up.
I think UK, the whole UK, US, Broner's gonna come in with his usual brash talk. Yeah. Khan's gonna be like, I'm sick and tired of this cocky mother effer. And then I think it'll just be like, it'll be entertaining, but I think obviously the British public would love to see Kell Brook.
You also got the winner of Pacquiao and Batiste.
Yeah.
Which, I think both of those guys are at stages of their careers where you could pay them to come to the UK.
I think.
Pacquiao in Australia.
I think.
Come on, Pacquiao to Australia.
I think Khan still wants that Pacquiao fight.
Yeah, come on, Pacquiao.
It was still
a lot of history there.
Khan, do you know what it is? I think Khan is, in these fights, more exciting than Brook because you see Brook winning those fights, whereas Khan, you're kind of like, he's just...
Edge of your seat.
Yeah, it's edge of your seat. He's so exciting to watch, but ultimately...
He goes out on his shield.
He could get knocked out or he could look sensational, whereas Brook is a far more composed boxer, and you would see Brook beating beating Pacquiao at this stage.
Yeah.
But... You can't really say that about Khan. So they're 50. They're kind of like sort of close fights.
Billy Joe was calling out Amir Khan. I was thinking, you don't want that.
Billy Joe was smoking. He was going to fight McGregor in the cage. Like someone needs to take his Twitter off him and just lock it. Just
so much control of
take his phone, just lock it in. Like
do you know what it is?
Give us your phone.
It's weird with Khan because it's just like. You either become full heel or stay the baby face that you are. And he's like in between. It's like he's not a committed heel. So that's why, with like you're saying about his Twitter talk, it doesn't come across convincing because it's just like you either have
It's a lot of waffle, mate.
Yeah, like no, but
spelling mistakes.
but it's like either commit to being full heel or just stick to build your babyface brand again. Because sometimes it's like he tries to, he dips his toe into controversy and then takes his toe out again. And it's just like, no, you haven't put the whole foot in.
Yeah, I don't get. You don't need to do that though. Because look, you were Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
Before that, you won a silver medal at 17 years old. Everyone knows who you are. You've done Jonathan Ross and Alan Carr and blah blah blah.
They'll welcome you back.
Just. All you got to do is nod and smile. Let Eddie Hearn do the rest, promote you, and you just nod and smile and say nice things.
I remember when he was on 8 out of 10 Cats. He didn't say shit.
No, but
he was just nodding and smiling.
That's the thing. That's why I don't understand a lot of the time a lot of his antics because it's just like you're acting like a heel right now. You're trying to be a heel persona. But it's just like...
It's not intentional, though.
No, but I think, for me, I don't... Then his PR people aren't doing their job.
Yeah.
Because, for me, it's like, if you're going to go for the heel persona, you have to go all in and make sure everyone hates you. And that's a big burden to carry.
But he's not that guy.
Exactly. That's my whole point. That's what I don't understand with the antics. It's just like it's coming. I don't know. What did he
do when he went in the jungle? Like stole some guy's food. That's pretty.
Strawberry Gate. That was a massive deal.
I didn't really watch that program, but I don't know if is it building his profile or not.
I think he did well out of it. He did well out of it, didn't he?
But that was a risky one. That
was hilarious. But anyway, so we got Carlos Takam and Derek Chisora on the undercard of thing as well. I really like that fight. Really, really fun fight. I really, really like Carlos Takam.
I'll go for Takam on that one.
And I really, really like Chisora, but I just think Takam's got too much.
You're going against the donkey killer.
Oh, mate,
you're a donkey.
He's the donkey. He's the donkey.
Listen, the donkey killer. That is David Chisora. I think it'll be interesting. I do think I can't see a knockout with Takam's chin.
Both of them have no. They're both very similar, aren't they? In the sense that they've got no power and great chin. So it's.
Well, I won't say they've got power, but they haven't got that put you to sleep.
They're 18 stone men, so I wouldn't want to smack them out.
But you're right. They haven't got that put you to sleep one shot power.
They're not those kind of killer punches. They normally sort of get their stoppages from outworking the guy over a long period of time. They're both very fit and durable. Yeah. I think it's a good gel of styles, and it's a fun fight.
Where does Chisora even go if he was to win?
He just fights fight by fight basis.
Yeah. I think he's showing up.
I think we mentioned it before. He's got a cult follow. He's got a bit of a cult following, doesn't he?
Oh, massively so. Yeah.
I'm a Chisora fan.
Yeah. We see those videos on IFL. That must click.
It's like win, lose or draw. You just have to tune into Chisora. So I think it'll be a good night of fights. It'll be a very good night of fights.
If the winner of one of those, a future Tyson Fury opponent, maybe down the line,
Joe Joyce,
future Joe Joyce opponent, that'd be quite good.
What's Tyson Fury's relationship with Chisora? Because I'm sure, if I recall, they're quite fond of each other.
They fought each other twice before. They became good friends after. I think they
talk about Tyson Fury. What do you make of his fight against the real deal, Seth by Seth?
That was
shocking.
Yeah.
Like kissing in the ring. It was just a bit, all that.
It looked like a charity
exhibition.
Yeah, I feel like I was watching comic
relief.
relief.
Like two celebrities, boxing for comic relief, and I think Tyson Fury had such good momentum going up into that fight.
Yeah.
And he just fucked it. Do you know what I mean?
I
sat there, I was cringing.
It was horrible.
God, this is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
Like, he looks very far from a comeback. Do you know what I mean? He looks very far from a competitive fight, and he needs that. And he's in an awkward position. He needs to have these fights now, but they're trying to set it like he's the top of the bill. He should just go down. Like, obviously, they need to promote it and make a big buzz about it.
Yeah.
He's top the bill now at the MEN, and you did that. That's fine. Now just go on undercards, get your match fitness, and do the big plug when you're ready to make the comeback. I think because people aren't going to keep coming out for that.
That was awful.
I think the mistake he made was he tried to play with him in a way of, I'm going to outskill you, but it just came off like.
But it
came off too playful, like you're
silly
both
shit. He kissed him before the fight.
Who the fuck does that?
Even at the weigh-in as well. Like, I understand there's banter, but then it got to
I've seen banter like weigh-ins, but in the fight itself,
touching gloves. It was just like
these are for a kiss.
And then when the other guy, the real deal, started like dancing as well, it was a mockery of the whole thing. It was an absolute joke.
Can you imagine getting tickets for that?
It's meant to be a gimme fight, and then don't get me wrong, he still got the win easily, but it wasn't as impressive. Like, people still want to see some form of killer instinct, and I think
he's only at 50%.
That's it, and I think you need to remember where he came from.
This guy was 27 stone last year.
27, 28 stone. Okay, and all his training so far has been about losing weight, and it's hard to do sort of cardio training on a low carb diet to lose the weight, as well as doing sort of technique work and getting sharp and doing hard sparring along with that. Now he's lost a lot of weight. He's in some sort of shape. The next kind of camp can get him a lot sharper, and I think the next fight will show a lot more.
Yeah.
And then the end of the year, you want to see a more competitive fight.
Well, I think he's fighting in August, right? I think he's on a bill for the Frampton fight.
Yeah. He's at the Windsor Park show, which would be a wicked night out.
I believe. Belfast, I think with the Tyson, I think the Fury fight, the problem wasn't as much like fitness, because obviously he's coming off a long layoff. I think his demeanor during it as well.
It was that.
I think that's what it was. It's like, people can forgive. Do you know what? You've had a long time, ring rust, all of that. But the demeanor was of someone that's like...
It didn't look serious.
Yeah, it didn't look serious.
It looked silly. You know what I mean?
And Real Deal looked like he was just happy to be there. Like, he wasn't even going
for it. He was getting paid?
Yeah, he was just like, I'm happy.
And then he just stopped on his stall as soon as Tyson Fury landed a little uppercut, and he was like, alright, it's got very real for me now. So I'm and he was off. But you read on Twitter, people just talking shit like, "Oh, this guy thought he was going to beat Anthony Joshua. What a dickhead!" It's like, do you think that's the best Tyson Fury?
Yeah.
Go back and watch him against Klitschko. All right, when he gets back to that level, then we can talk. Obviously, that guy's not going to beat Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
Okay, Anthony Joshua's been match fit in good form. Blah blah blah. This guy's had problems. He's coming back into it. So you're so stupid, just like, just write him off. Oh, that was ridiculous. He'll never
give him another couple of fights.
Give him another, this is how comebacks work. He's doing it the right way. He's doing it the smart way. Because if he got in there with someone good last night, even like a contender, he risks losing. Which is, you don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But so people, you need to be patient. I think next year, we'll get Tyson. He seems to have the bit between the teeth, and I think he's loving the celebrity that he's currently getting. He's never been this loved. He's never been this felt like he sold like 23,000 tickets at the MEN. He
smashed it
against Klitschko. Do you remember for the comeback fight? The rematch.
Yeah.
He was supposed to fight Klitschko at the MEN. They sold like 10,000 tickets against Klitschko, and now against Seth Fury, he's selling 23,000 tickets.
Yeah. That's the real deal, right?
Yeah, well, Klitschko doesn't really compare, to be honest. So he's changed the game up, and he's bringing that clout, and it's good to see he's loved. It's good.
And what else we got coming up? Let's touch upon David Haye's retirement.
It had to happen, really. I think he did it. He did it in quite a classy way. He said he couldn't do it anymore. It would have been sad to see him try and go again and try and extract a few more quid out of the game before. before he called it a day. I think
it was a shame. Massive pioneer of the
I think one thing I didn't like was a lot of fans. Obviously, he did end his career on a loss, but a lot of fans giving him stick. But you got to look at his resume. The guy done it all in his prime. He's he brought the cruiserweight division together. He made that big again when no one was really looking at the cruiserweight division.
Yeah,
I think he's done a lot for boxing, and I understand maybe his last few fights haven't gone the way that he would have liked, but I think people need to show more respect to what David Haye's actually done because, short memories, people forget that he was the guy that everyone was buying pay-per-views for. Yeah. He was the guy that, he's called Hayemaker for a reason. He was out there throwing those haymakers and getting butts on seats and getting eyes to watch.
No, 100%. And two things, he put British boxing on his back when there was nothing happening, okay? Yeah. And you got to give him mad credit for that because he saved the game. Before Eddie Hearn was there, he was the only one doing anything. And then also, his talent, in terms of British boxing, that explosive speed and power,
fun to watch.
Those mad angles they had, that kind of Roy Jones-esque, and then with crazy power. We hadn't seen that over here. We had Prince Naz, but for a long time we had nothing like that. And he kind of had that American pizzazz to him,
yeah.
that sort of American
that
style.
Air of arrogance.
Yeah, that air of arrogance that we only ever see from American fighters. So to have one of those as our own, as in Britain, and go out and represent and unify the cruiserweight division, go and win the heavyweight world title whilst being cocky and brash and knocking people out. He had a fantastic career. I loved watching him, and it's been great. And it's curtains down now. He's going to be a promoter, and I think he'll be a good promoter.
Yeah, there's a lot to him.
That's it.
So yeah, that's all, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Like, subscribe, all of that. Do check out our channel. Peace.
See you later. Thanks for listening.
Have a good one.